Hey folks, welcome back, or of course, welcome to Lone Pine Tarot for the first time if you're brand new here. And as always, thank you so much for choosing to join me for our pick a card reading today. Now, quite straightforward, not much explanation needed. We're just asking your spirit guides today, what is the most important message that you need to hear right now? So with that being said, let's choose your pile. So we're choosing with 3 different tarot decks today. Over here on the left, for pile number 1, we have the Smith-Waite Centennial Edition Tarot. And here is your Queen of Cups from that deck. For pile 2, here in the middle, your pile leader or deck is the Tarot of the Golden Wheel. And here is your lovely Queen of Cups. And last but not least, for our wonderful pile 3, your deck today is the Oriens Animal Tarot. And here is your Queen of Cups with a very cute little snail. All 3 very beautiful options. Quick refresher, pile 1, remember you are Smith-Waite. Pile 2, you are Golden Wheel. And pile 3, you are the Oriens Animal Tarot, though as I always say, you're 100% welcome to pause on this part of the reading if you need more time to decide what pile draws you in the most. If you want my recommendation, meditate on it a little bit, ask your spirit guides, please guide me to the right card or pile leader when I open my eyes. Or you can even just ask them, please give me a number 1 through 3 and choose that way. But whatever your method, drop down to the description box below when you're ready. Find the timestamp for your pile, and I'll see you in our chat about the most important message that you need to hear right now. See you in the reading, everyone. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 1. Welcome to your pick a card reading for today. And of course, as you recall, you were drawn to the Queen of Cups from a good old-fashioned deck, the Smith-Waite Centennial Edition Tarot. Now, as we always do when we choose with tarot cards, I'm going to put it right back into your deck so it's available for the message if need be. And let's begin with shuffling all of your cards. And also today, not just tarot and oracle, or my usual decks I use, as most of you who watch my channel before know. We're also doing Lenormand and Geomancy again today. I thought it'd be fun to kind of mix a bunch of different systems, so let's do it. Calling on the spirit guides for pile number 1 collectively today for their highest best good. Could you tell me more about what you want them to know? What's an important message that they need to hear right now? Thank you. Okay, we already have beautiful Queen of Wands. Bit of fiery energy. And this card came out sideways. The 2 of Wands, which once again, a little bit more fire energy, pile 1. So I'm going to set it sideways here. Although it was kind of leaning sort of reversed. But I always honor the positions that cards come out in. So we'll take that one sideways. Now, as for the rest of your cards, let's cut everything together. And split in half here. Feeling that part. We'll draw the rest that way. Beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. Now, drawing your Lenormand cards. I am feeling, though, pile 1, based off of what already has been showing with the first 2 tarot cards that popped out. There's a lot about your confidence in something that is coming to light. I don't know if you've been recently working on a certain project that you've been lacking confidence on, or a goal that you've been lacking confidence on, or perhaps you had confidence at the very beginning, and then it's like something's kind of shaken your plans up. That might be where this energy of the 2 of Wands coming out sideways is getting put into the mix, so to speak. Then we have the ship from Lenormand. Beautiful. Actually, I'm going to set that. I'll put it up here. And then drawing your other cards. Could even be something related to a journey of sorts, because the ship in Lenormand tends to represent places that we're going. Even if it's not a physical journey, although some of you might be moving pile 1. That could be the way that this goal of sorts manifested. It could also represent like a mental journey of some sort. It doesn't literally have to be a physical movement. And then let's grab your surrender card. Beautiful. I'll shuffle this off screen because there's not a lot of room on there right now. At least the first part. Beautiful. Okay, I already know this one is like, pick me. We're going to take it. And last but not least, we have the Elkie Oracle today. So So your confidence in something, some plans that you've made, a journey of some sort. Interesting. And I'm feeling drawn to this one in particular, so we'll take that. And of course, I did promise geomancy, so I already drew the sigil beforehand. And for your sigil today, pile 1, you got Cauda Draconis. It basically literally translates to the tail of the dragon. And what that means in geomancy is something is coming to an end, something is leaving, or something's coming to a resolution or a completion of some sort. It's kind of like the world card in tarot, if you're familiar with that card. It's like the cycle is coming to an end, which is interesting because in the very beginning here, as I said, there's like a goal or a journey of some sort. But then we have the energy of Cauda Draconis popping in, like, well, wait a minute, something's also coming to an end. So I get the feeling that this message is a lot about like both endings and beginnings. So we'll see how everything plays out with the other cards, but that is the major synchronicities, or are the major synchronicities that I'm seeing so far, pile 1. So let's do your tarot cards next. So right up to bat after the wonderful sideways 2 of Wands, we have more Wands. Wow. We have the 8 of Wands. Lots of fire energy. Lots of fire energy in a reading. Pile 1 tends to speak to me of creative pursuits that we've been maybe working on too, or things that are related to our confidence, as I said before with the Queen of Wands. Then we have, the Sun. Okay, well, things are going to turn out okay, I think. Pile number 1. We'll look at the outcome card first, but, and then the 3 of Cups reversed. So, good tidings with the Sun. And then the 3 of Cups reversed, there might be some sort of social group or social event or like public thing involved with this. Let's keep going. Then as for the Lenormand, so we already had the ship. The second card is the girl or the child. So 3 and 13, lots of repeated 3 numbers so far, especially the 3 of Cups and then the 2 3s in your Lenormand. And then we have the promise or the ring. Okay. New agreement, new contract. We'll talk about that in a second. Then for Elke, we have Marina. No, Manara, she who waits, patience, waiting, and determination. Okay, that makes sense. That card came out and I'm like, okay. All right, wait a minute, I get it. Let's make everything neat. And then your surrender card today, pile 1, is, surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Speaking of confidence, also fitting for the time of year, it's an autumn tree. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then you can own your power and soar in your life. Okay, so pile 1. Yes. So we already discussed a little bit about there's been some sort of journey that you've been on recently in terms of a goal that you have in mind. As I said, some of you might have been literally thinking about moving or trying to move somewhere. That can be one way that the ship in Lenormand manifests itself. But as I also said too, sometimes it can be a mental or an emotional journey as well. And some of you, this even rides into a message of it being more about the internal journey of your confidence and your belief in yourself. Not just because of the surrender outdated beliefs about yourself card, though that is very pertinent. That makes total sense when it came out, and I was like, oh, that's why. But also because of a lot of your tarot cards that have been popping up. I think part of the goal or the thing that you're trying to do, you were confident about it first, or at least had a modicum of like, okay, well, I'll try for it. Let's go for it, right? Because in the very beginning, you have the Queen of Wands here, pile 1. I called you pile 2 because I was looking at the 2 of Wands. Oops, you're pile 1. You have the Queen of Wands in the very beginning. And the Queen of Wands, pile 1, is someone who has mastered their confidence, especially when it comes to creativity, when it comes to fiery energy, your willpower. You're like, okay, I'm going to go get this thing done. I'm going to go for it, right? But then plans might have changed, or you're on the cusp of plans maybe changing because you have that 2 of Wands sideways. Now, cards don't often come out sideways, so as a tarot reader, when that pops up for me, I see a sideways card, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. And what a sideways card means to me is usually something that's like on the cusp of something. It's not quite upright, it's not quite reversed, it's like we're just teetering like a seesaw on the edge of a particular thing. So I think that's either, as I said, your plans for whatever this was, or is, I should say, present tense, are shaky, not because of your poor planning, but like of things that kind of got in the way, or like a wrench got thrown in the mix. Or it's like you've had to change your plans very quickly, and that might have shaken your confidence. I think that's the emotional root of why your spirit guides want to reach out to you about this pile number 1, because they're like, oh, pile 1's getting nervous. Pile 1 is like, what am I going to do? Because I think there's a timing element involved. I say that because the core of the matter here, or the heart of the matter card as I call it, is the Eight of Wands. That is the card of things speeding up, or maybe you wanting things to go faster. It's almost kind of like, I call it a shooting star card. It's like something kind of just pops out of nowhere from the sky, almost like as if by divine timing, or like this divine, I don't want to call it divine wrench in your plans because that's not fun, right? But something pops out of nowhere and you're like, uh-oh. And then on top of that, you also have a reference to time with She Who Waits, Manara, patience and waiting and determination. So it's like you've had to wait longer, but you want it to go faster, and you're like, that way of wanting things to go faster and it not going at the pace that you want it to go, that's what's taking away from your initial Queen of Wands energy of like, oh, I'm confident, and then boom, wrench, uh-oh, maybe I'm not so confident about this. Okay. Pile 1. Number 1, take a deep breath, okay? Number 2, spirit guides are reaching out to you with this reading based on the cards I'm seeing, because they're telling you it's going to be okay. You're worrying a little bit too much. We know your confidence is shaken. We know that things feel a little rocky right now with whatever this goal is that you've been working on, okay? But things are going to speed up soon. That is another message of like the Eight of Wands being the present message, because it's like the present energy, like things are incoming. That shooting star is about to pop out and you're going to glimpse it, right? Metaphorically speaking. But you also have the sun right afterwards, pile number 1. And those of you that know tarot know the sun is a very positive meaning card. It is a card of light. It's a card of joy and happiness. It's also a card of truth. So for those of you especially that are looking for joy or happiness, that might be some of your goals. Some of you, it might also be that you're looking for a truth of some sort. Maybe that's what's kind of shaking your confidence in something, is like you feel like, I don't have enough information for this, or I'm waiting on information of some sort, or I'm waiting for some sort of light to shine on my path ahead so that I can feel confident again. That is coming in the very near future. Okay? This is spirit guides saying to you, things are going to happen quickly, and it's going to be joyous, or it's going to bring a truth of some sort with the sun. Okay? You have to be patient, though. And I know that's hard to hear, and I know you're probably like, well, of course, I've already been patient, Lone Pine, I get it. But that's why the She Who Waits came out with Manara. Patience, waiting, and determination. Do not let this setback knock your confidence, pile 1. I know it's difficult, but spirit guides are saying it's going to be fine. For some reason, though, it just took a little bit of extra work on the universe's end and the machinations of everything for things to come to fruition, okay? I think part of what's making you upset a little bit too, or what's knocking your confidence, is that whatever has been felt denied to you or has been kind of delayed, it's triggering a sort of feeling of insecurity in you, or at least a feeling of, oh God, maybe I was dumb to think that this could work out, or maybe I was stupid to think that I could attain this goal, or this, whatever it is that you've been working on, okay? Because of the surrender your outdated beliefs about yourself card. I think you're leaning a little bit too much back on maybe things that you thought you worked through, or problems that you thought you worked through regarding your confidence, pile 1, but now like with this thing occurring, they're cropping up again. You're like, maybe I shouldn't have been confident. Like maybe I just based my confidence on nothing. Spirit guides are saying, no, keep being confident. This isn't happening because of something you did, pile 1. This is what I'm feeling here, especially with the Eight of Wands energy. That almost kind of feels like divine timing card to me sometimes, or a divine timing card, I should say. It's not because of you. It's not anything you did wrong. So don't let this occurrence or delay, whatever, bring you down. Don't let it affect your confidence. I can also tell you it's coming to an end soon, because you've got Cauda Draconis. As I said, that means the tail of the dragon in geomancy. It means something is coming to an ending or a completion, or especially for those of you that have wanted to move, maybe that's how that manifests for you with the ship. Because as I said, the ship in Lenormand tends to represent a journey of sorts. it's also, Cauda Draconis is also a geomantic symbol of leaving places, leaving something behind. Okay, so if you're wanting to move and there's been delays, you're going to see progress on that very soon. Okay, now I haven't even read your Lenormand spread yet, though I do want to talk about the Three of Cups reversed, because some of you are like, well, what's that all about? So the Three of Cups reversed, pile 1, is a card of potential negative influences with social groups or social events, or in this case with the sun right before it, I can see it almost as like the sun is either going to it's like energy improving some sort of social situation that's been going wrong, or like you felt has been shaky lately. Like, you know, it really depends on what your goal has been, pile 1. If it's related to work, it might be fear of influences or like judgment from other people at your work. Yeah, if it's like, yeah, workplace related thing is what I mean. You know, or if it's something related to family, like with moving, maybe part of what's been causing issues is like disharmony in a group, like AKA your family. So that could also mean that the sun is bringing that to an end, that light, that truth, or like that happy thing coming. So just kind of take that as it applies to your situation with that. It can also mean too, because timelines in tarot are like a snapshot of how things are going to occur right now, but that doesn't mean that that can't change. So for some of you too, it might also mean that if you continue to lack confidence in yourself with this, it might affect some either social event in a negative way, or it might affect like something with a social group in a negative way. But remember, pile 1, as I said, the beauty of tarot is that when it warns you of things like this, you can change it now. Okay, so please lean into your confidence more. Please don't feel like you should feel bad about yourself, or that you did something wrong, or that you're bad, or whatever is the negative feeling going on in your heart and your mind right now. Let that go. Okay, now the Lenormand reading. So we have the ship, we have the child or the girl, and we have the ring. So reading that as a sentence, pile 1, in the style of Lenormand. So a journey towards a youthful agreement, or like a new promise or agreement. You know, some of you, it might also be related to a job, because a new agreement, sometimes with the ring, it can literally mean a contract of some sort. It can also mean, for those of you that are literally moving, it's like a new contract in terms of rental, or like mortgaging a house, or whatever your situation is, whatever kind of property that you're looking for, of course. It's a journey towards something new or youthful, or like new energy regarding an agreement, promise, or a contract. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to draw a little bit of clarifying cards on that one. I'm going to ask Spirit to draw just a few on those. Spirit guides for pile 1, could you tell me a little bit more about the Lenormand spread? What's more about like this contract that's coming? Okay, this one for sure was like, pick me. About ready to just fly out. Well, we'll take it. And then this one is also standing out. So we'll take those two, pile 1. What's about this contract, this journey? So this is the first one. Oh, beautiful. We have the Ace of Cups. Yes, and especially with the child card in tandem, pile 1, there's something about where you're going after this minor setback. Of course, like I said, is coming to an end. Look at Cauda Draconis. Something about where you're going after this minor setback that's like refreshing, and it's new, and it's like, okay, it almost feels like a fresh slate, especially in tandem with the child card, because that's another way you could interpret that in Lenormand, is a feeling of like a fresh slate, or things being new, because it's that youthful energy of the child. Okay, and then the second card we have, oh, beautiful, and then we have the 5 of Cups reversed, which is also just, well, it's great to get reversed. Upright, it would mean sadness, but reversed, it means overcoming a sadness of some sort. Okay, I feel like this reflects pile 1 not only on the emotional state you'll be in after this blockage gets, you know, pushed away, in terms of, well, not only like a renewal of confidence, although you're being encouraged to upkeep your confidence on the way there, because that'll help you with that social thing we were talking about. But I don't know. It's just, I don't know if you felt kind of sad or dead inside in where you were before, and that's what made you want to start this goal in the first place, or whatever this is. Or it's like, if you're moving, it's like the place you were living in made you feel kind of dead inside or unhappy. But after this contract or this agreement or promise has come to fruition, it's like this wellspring of like new happiness, new emotions, blessings, and then yes, the Five of Cups reversed is overcoming a time of hardship emotionally, and then like overcoming sadness. It's also another card, pile 1, of if you think all is lost, it's not true. Because if you look at this card upright, and this is a beautiful aspect of the Five of Cups, he's sad because he's looking at his spilled cups right in front of him. He's like, uh-oh. He's like, where'd all my wine go? The cups spilled over. I'm not happy. I'm shrouded in black. I'm mourning, right? But he doesn't notice what's behind him. There's 2 cups that are still full. Okay, so I think part of this might be the way that the Five of Cups reversed shows the energy of him realizing, oh, not all is lost. Oh, wait a minute. There's still these 2 cups behind me. Not all my wine is gone, or whatever is in there. It looks like wine because it's red, right? Whatever it is. Grape juice. I don't know. Wine or grape juice. Pick your poison. But it's like you realize, oh, I still have this opportunity. I still have this thing. It's not all over. And that, especially in combination with that sun, it's like, okay, now everything is like, I've got the truth or the info I need, or I've got this, this happiness, or blah, I can't talk today. Happiness is what I meant to say. This happiness or this joy that I've been looking for. Just remember, and I hate to reiterate it a 3rd time, or maybe 4th time right now, pile number 1. Please stay confident and patient in the meantime, and you will be rewarded. Okay, because things are coming to an end, remember. There's a new contract, new promise, blessings and happiness over a time of what had been emotional hardship or feeling of loss. Plans might be a little shaky right now, but that doesn't mean that they won't improve in the future. And I do see that happening not only quickly because of the Eight of Wands, but in a way that makes you very happy. Okay? And then, if you keep the confidence advice in mind, that will also help improve the social situation aspect of this, or the social event aspect of whatever this is, or the group. It could also mean a group of some sort where, yeah, maybe it's like a bit of disharmony in a group of some sort, or you fear judgment from a group, whatever it might be. Keep confident, and that won't come to pass. All right. So beautiful. Honestly, actually, this, if I had to categorize this reading today, pile 1, it basically was, well, sort of an advice reading, but a blessing reading, because it means good things are coming after you thought things might not go the way that you wanted them to. So very happy to deliver that message to you, pile number 1. Now, my usual spiel at the end. If you liked the reading, if it resonated, if it helped you, number 1, please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so yet already. Every little piece of interaction helps the channel grow. And thank you so much if you choose to do one or maybe all 3 of those things. And as we say in our tradition in Lone Pine Tarot, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 1. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 2. Welcome to your pick a card reading today. And of course, as you recall, you were drawn to Tarot of the Golden Wheel for your deck. Now, as we always do when we choose with tarot decks, I like to put your pile leader right back into it so it's available for the message if need be. So let's begin by drawing all of your cards, calling on Spirit and Spirit Guides specifically for pile 2 today, for their highest best good. Can you tell us more about what it is you want them to know, the important message they need to hear today? Thank you. Okay, we're going to take this one first. I'm feeling drawn to that one. And then let's cut the deck otherwise. For the rest of the cards, let's see. Beautiful. And next up, we're using a combination of Tarot Oracle plus 2 other systems today. Number 1, we're going to do Lenormand. But I also drew some Geomancy for you today, pile 2, so I'm excited for that. Here we go, that one for sure. Okay, there is your Lenormand cards, or R, I should say, plural. Looking at your L key. This one, feeling drawn to. And last but not least, thank you for your patience, we have the Power of Surrender cards. Okay, we're going to take that one. Beautiful. And then, drum roll please, revealing your Geomancy sigil for today, pile number 2. Very happy to report, when I drew it beforehand, you got one of the best ones in Geomancy. It is called Laetitia, which means joy, happiness, or a gateway to something new. So, I think this might be a blessing reading based on that. But of course, let's look at your other cards to be sure. So we'll put your Geomancy right up here. Beautiful. Let's draw your Lenormand to begin. We have, the moon. We have next up the scythe. Something swift. And last but not least, we have, the snake. Interesting blend there. The moon, the scythe, and the snake. We'll discuss what that means more in a moment. Then we have, let's look at your tarot. First up to bat. There she is again. We have the Queen of Cups, but she's reversed this time. So perhaps this is a situation where you have been feeling either that you're not following your heart on something, or like your heart isn't aligned with something, or you're not maybe even sure how to feel about something going on in your life. That's usually what a Queen of Cups means to me as a tarot reader. Then we have the Ace of Swords reversed. Yes, like where the way is unclear, or we feel like something is not 100% clear, because the Ace of Swords reversed, pile 2, can represent a time where like new air energy is not coming in. And what that means at a mundane level is new ideas aren't coming in about something, or new information's not coming in about something. We're kind of confused, especially when it comes to the heart and where the mind meet. Then the heart of the matter is the Nine of Wands reversed. We're tired about it too. So some of the emotional energy around the situation that spirit guides are describing for you is you being really kind of just tired of something. You're just sick of something, it feels like. And I kind of felt that a little bit with the scythe, especially next to the snake with your Lenormand, because that can mean like a swift end, or like something happening swiftly regarding like, because the snake, how do I describe the snake in Lenormand pile 2? The snake isn't always necessarily like a nice person or like a nice situation, especially this variant of the snake. There's 2 in this particular deck. This is like the meaner, so to speak, variation of the snake, at least in terms of who it might represent in your life. So maybe you do have like a snake literally in your life right now in terms of like how you would describe a person involved in this situation. And maybe that's what's been causing this like tiredness or this weariness. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't have any ideas about this. Where should I go? But you do know I am tired, though. I don't feel determined about whatever this is anymore. Okay, let's keep going. Then we have the Ten of Cups reversed. Yes, okay, that makes total sense. Things aren't maybe not as happily ever after as we thought they would be. And then we have, although that, beautiful though. Okay, so at the very end, though, we have the Five of Cups reversed, pile 2. I will tell you this, and I was right when my intuition said I think this is a blessing reading because of Laetitia coming out as your Geomancy sigil. Whatever's making you upset about the situation is coming to an end. Not just because Laetitia means, joy, happiness. It also represents like a rainbow, which is metaphorically something that happens that's happy or joyful after rain, after a time of a storm of some sort. But you also got the Five of Cups reversed as your outcome, and that usually means a time of emotional hardship or sorrow is coming to an end. So I can guarantee you that, though we do have a lot of other things to mention before that point. Okay. In terms of, more context and in terms of what else spirit guides want to say to you. Let's also flip over your oracle cards, though. We have Yelena, she who knows, wisdom, clarity, and resolution. Okay, yep, something's coming to resolvement. It's going to finally end, whatever this is, in a happy way, because, Laetitia and the Five of Cups reversed. And then, drumroll, your Power of Surrender card. Surrender to miracles. Yes, okay. Positive things, one after another. Be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubt that miracles can happen. Okay. So, just want to reiterate, pile 2. Whatever I've been describing so far, however that resonates, what is making you upset or confused or like you just want something to swiftly end it'll come to a happy resolution. So just take a deep breath right now and be like, okay, thank God. Because I feel with this particular reading, especially everything in the beginning here, just, the Queen of Cups reversed, the Ace of Swords reversed, the Knight of Wands reversed, you're tired. You're sick of something. You're like, I want this to come to an end. I don't want to have to deal with this anymore. I'm trying to figure out if for most of you it's like career or relationship oriented. I want to say relationship oriented for most of you because you got not only a lot of cups cards, and cups and tarot tend to represent like relationships and emotions, but you also have the moon card in Lenormand, and that tends to be about like emotions or like our feelings in the subconscious. It's more of an emotional level thing, although that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not related to relationships at a workplace if you're feeling that this resonates more with a career situation that's been going on. Yes, so we already described everything with the Queen of Cups. Her being like, I don't know how to feel about this. Am I confident in how I feel about this? And then the Ace of Swords reversed, as I said, is that feeling of, man, I don't think do I have the right idea? I need more information on something to move forward with this situation that's been making me upset or kind of worn out and tired. But it's like that searching pile number 2 has been what's making you tired and worn out, because the Knight of Wands reversed, especially as the Heart of the Matter card, I call the central card of tarot spreads that I like to use, is kind of the underlying theme of everything. And it's the theme of, I am just dog bone tired. Like, so tired, I'm worn out, because it's often a card of, like, having gone through a really hard battle. Literally, it looks like a battlefield in this card, you can see. Especially by the other wands that were left behind. Especially for those of you that this is career-related, it might be that maybe you've had a lot of downsizing in your department recently, and you feel like you're, like, the last tired soldier, like, running things together with duct tape because you're so tired and worn out, and, like, your company just won't hire more people, or it could also be, like, if this is relationship-related, maybe you feel like, be it romantic or platonic, you're the only one that's trying to keep things going. You're like, man, I'm the only soldier still in this fight. I feel like everyone else just gave up and went home. What's going on? Like, and no wonder why you're tired, pile number 2, if that's your situation, because you're like, man, what do I do? And maybe that's why you even clicked on this reading. You're like, Spirit, what do I do? Tell me, okay? Now, I will tell you this. I think a part of your journey forward, and I'll say this delicately, is a separation of some sort. Okay, and I don't say that lightly, but what I mean is because in the near future, you got the 10 of Cups reversed. That can mean letting go of somebody in terms of, like, a platonic relationship, or it can mean, like, a romantic relationship, or it can mean even your relationship to a job or a workplace of some sort, because it's the card reversed of things did not turn out happily ever after, and especially because upright, it's typically a card of, like, happy partners with a baby, right? And the happy cat down in the corner. Things are fruitful. Reversed, it usually means that it didn't come to fruition in that happily ever after way that we expected it to. Now, pile number 2, I think based on everything so far, most of you are not shocked to hear this. You're kind of like, well, yeah, that makes sense with the writing on the wall. Okay, because of everything been going on. You feel like you might be the only soldier still left in the fight, and at this point you're like, you know what? That 10 of Cups reversed in the near future does not surprise me. So most of you, that shouldn't be too much of a shock. Especially if everything's been resonating so far. That, or at the very least, it's like, I'm not going to sugarcoat. When I see a 10 of Cups reversed, that tends to mean that something might not come to at least if not like a separation, it's not like the happily ever after that we were expecting. Okay. But bear with me, for those of you that didn't click off the moment I said that. You're like, I gotta click off. Something wasn't happy. I can promise you, though, that it's for good in the end. Because the 5 of Cups reversed is your outcome. And the 5 of Cups reversed means your sorrows are coming to an end. And on top of that, pile number 2, look at all the other happy cards that you got. Letitia, a new gateway, a rainbow after the rain, joy and happiness. It's gonna get better. The 5 of Cups I already explained. The Surrender to Miracles card, I don't even have to explain that. You know what a miracle is, right? Pile number 2, you know. something happy is coming along. And it might even be, too, that it involves another partner of some sort, or like, if not like a romantic partner that comes along afterwards that's better for you than the one that you've been dealing with, or, a friend that's better than if it's like a friend that you've been dealing with, or the partner in this case might also symbolically be like a new workplace of some sort, because it's these two dolphins together. Okay, they represent, number one, dolphins are very intelligent. They're very communicative. I think they might be the second most intelligent animal on Earth besides humans, if I'm not mistaken, at least in how humans gauge intelligence, right? We always think we're the smartest because we're humans, right? But, and so they're very communicative and like community oriented. So that's why I think that might be like part of this like miracle, so to speak, is like a new relationship coming in, be it with, as I said, platonic, romantic, or with a workplace of some sort. And it's a miracle. It's something that's happy. Okay. Because as it said, be open to miracles occurring in your life. So some of it might also be too that you already kind of know that you've been tired and you kind of know that things might come to an end, but perhaps there's been a little bit of resistance to fully let go. Pile number 2, completely understandable. If so, it is really hard to close doors and chapters in our life, especially if we still think like there's something to salvage in what's going on, or like something that might still be holding us back a little bit. But I think deep down in your heart, pile number 2, like if this is all resonating, that Queen of Cups is like, it's not that she doesn't know that there's something in her heart that she feels, because she's very wise with her emotions. That's what a Queen of Cups is. That's what she does. It's just that when she's reversed, it's like, oh, she might be kind of ignoring it. But it's like at the point of, I can no longer ignore this because I am so tired with the 9 of Wands reversed. My determination and my spark is running out. I feel like I want to give up on something, okay? If that is the case, pile number 2, okay? If this is resonating, as I said, it'll be fine in the end. Sometimes to open the door to new joys in our life, we have to close the door on other things that no longer serve us anymore, okay? And then 2, I think part of what might be holding you back from closing a door that isn't necessarily working for you anymore is maybe that confusion with that Ace of Swords reverse, this is where Yelena comes in, your L-Key Oracle over here. She who knows, Yelena. Wisdom and clarity and resolution. Yes, so that is a card of doors closing. Okay, an action of something no longer serving us. We close the door, we go to something happier, right? But also with wisdom and clarity, it's we get that information that we need. So I think that Spirit is also saying that you're going to get the information that you need for those of you that have been waiting for some sort of information before closing that door and opening a new one. Okay, so I will draw some tarot cards on that as well to ask what's the method of delivery of this information coming forward so that you can kind of keep an eye out for it. Let me actually do that right now before I even touch the Lenormand spread. Although the Lenormand spread is quite straightforward, pile number 2. I think basically it's just a reiteration of some of the things we've already said, but I will explore that more fully in a second. So, Spirit, could you tell me a little bit more about the information coming forward? What's the clarity coming forward for them that will help them bring this to resolution? Or like, what's the way that it comes about? Because especially for those of you that are like chomping at the bit to close the door, but you're waiting on like one last bit of information in order to do it, I think this part of the reading will be quite helpful. So the Fool reversed. Something to do with taking a risk, or someone taking a risk that they shouldn't have. Let's keep looking. And then we've got for the second card, the 9 of Swords reversed. Releasing anxiety. Something not worrying you anymore. You know what it is, pile number 2? And I know we've already been discussing about like you gaining some sort of clarity. I don't think the clarity is you getting necessarily an answer to something. I think the clarity is you realizing it doesn't matter if I have that piece of information for me to close this door because I already know it's not working out anyways. I already know I'm tired. It's like I feel like you might be looking for some outside source of validation for what you're feeling inside, because either you feel guilty about feeling this way, or you feel like, well, am I taking too much of a risk, feeling like acknowledging that I feel this way and wanting to leave this behind. So you're looking for this information because you're like, I want something else to kind of give me the push I need to maybe walk into something better and new in my life. Spirit basically is saying the vehicle of information that you need is basically you taking a risk of just saying, well, I'm not going to worry about it anyways. because I already know deep down inside that this isn't the path for me, or this isn't the place for me, or maybe this isn't the partner or the friend for me, whatever your situation might be, okay? It's a feeling of, you know what? Do I really need validation other than knowing in my heart that this isn't right for me? Okay, so be wary of relying too much on outside validation for your decisions, okay? Sometimes in life, when our mental stress and our emotions are at risk here. I see that with the Nine of Swords reversed. You're like probably very anguished and stressed and anxious. Totally understandable, right? Pile number 2. I would be the same in your situation. Sometimes it's worth it just to take a risk without knowing all the information we need just to get out of there, okay? I mean, make sure that you'll have enough information like to at least land safely, right? But you don't need all the answers before you move forward, okay? That's what that's saying. Now, Lenormand, Moon, Scythe, and the Snake. As I said, the Snake tends to represent maybe not the nicest person in our life. For those of you that this is another person involved or a workplace, that might be how they're represented. So the Snake in Lenormand tends to mean someone who is like backstabby, or someone who is cunning, like a snake in the grass. It's kind of a phrase that they often use with, or at least I do with Lenormand in that particular card. Someone that's been maybe too, like, fierce. Because that's, like, the nasty snake. That's the fierce snake. It's not the shedding snake like the other variation of this deck has. And that, and combined with the Moon and the Scythe, it's like, you know, and I said before, it's just reiterating what we already talked about. So I apologize, it's repetitive, but it's synchronicity here, pile 2, where it's saying your unconscious feelings already know to cut or cut off the snake in your life. It's like you already know. You already know. It's just that feeling of like, well, maybe I need a little bit more information. Maybe I need a little bit more of this. It's like Spirit saying to you, pile 2, you already know. Follow your intuition. Follow what you know you need to cut out of your life. Because whoever the snake is, or the snake situation or place is, you know it's not good for you. So why not walk away faster? And save yourself the grief of staying longer. Okay. I mean, of course, as I always say, you know your situation better than me. Okay. Especially with a general reading, pile 2, is not everything might resonate with you today. But if this is resonating, and you know, like, yeah, well, I guess that kind of makes sense. You're saying that to yourself maybe as you're watching this. I mean, as long as, of course, you know that you have like a safety net. And as long as you know that you're going to be, you know, like, physically taken care of, right? Spirit basically is saying, don't be afraid to take a risk to leap into something new. All right. Okay, you don't need the information. They're saying, take a risk, especially where the risk, you know, would relieve your anxiety and your anguish. And this obvious, you know, like, emotional confusion and not being sure and I'm tired kind of feeling. Okay. Choose yourself, pile number 2. They're saying choose yourself. Choose a new door to open. Choose your own joy and choose your own happiness, and follow a path where you can turn that 10 of Cups right side up and you can find a happily ever after. Because I think where you are right now, based on these cards, you probably already know deep down that this might not be a path towards happily ever after. Okay. That's why you're doubting it. That's your intuition saying to you, I don't know about this. And as soon as you choose your joy, and as soon as you choose your happiness, and as soon as you choose yourself and your mental health as well, and emotional health, pile 2, that's when joy will flood in, and that's when that 5 of Cups reverse energy will kick in, and the hardship and the sorrows will end. Okay, so really this message, to summarize for you today, pile 2, is a message from Spirit of a bit of encouragement to follow what you already feel in your heart, because they want what's better for you after you close a door and open a new one to a much better future, which, I mean, you know, Letitia, 5 of Cups reversed, miracles. Lots of obvious signs that better future, okay. All right, and they know it might be difficult. Not saying it's easy, but it's worth it in the end to choose those things, okay? So that's your reading for today, my wonderful pile number 2. Going my usual spiel at the end here. Those of you who watch me, you know what I'm going to say, but please, 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 if the reading helped you, if it resonated, if you liked it, please like, comment, subscribe down below. Every little bit of interaction helps the channel grow and helps, basically tell YouTube, hey, this is a great channel. I like this particular channel, and helps it thrive and whatnot. So thank you so much if you choose to do so, even just one of those things, if not all 3. And as we say in our tradition, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 2. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 3. Welcome today to your pick a card reading, and as you recall, you were drawn to the Oriens Animal Tarot for your deck of choice today. So, without further ado, we're going to put your pile leader, Queen of Cups, right back into the deck so it's available for the message. And let us start with shuffling your cards. So calling on Spirit today, Spirit guides for pile 3. What is the most important message that they need to hear right now that you want them to know? Thank you. In pile 3, we're choosing with quite a bunch of different systems today. We have tarot, we have oracle, of course, too. I'm also doing Lenormand and geomancy today. I thought it'd be fun to do all 4 systems. Good for a little bit of practice, good for a little bit of variety as well. And then I'm going to cut the deck for the other 2. Oopsie. Well, you know what? 2 cards just fell out right on the pencil I have down here to mark the separation. Oh, actually 3 cards, but we'll take them. I'm actually just going to take those 3. So never mind about cutting the deck. Beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. We're like, let's speed it up. Okay, there's your tarot cards. And then we have Lenormand. Let's draw those. Let's see what else. Take that one for sure. Feeling this one back here, actually. Let's do that. Then we'll use the L key oracle. And your geomancy sigil today, pile 3, was probably the most interesting one of all the 3 piles. You have one that's quite, I don't want to say open to interpretation, but it really depends heavily on the other cards around it. But it is technically positive, so I think your message today is going to be something that might bring you peace, because that's one of the meanings of the geomancy sigil that you got. So we'll see. Also illumination, it means. So it could possibly mean, too, that you're going to get some information. We'll take that one. That will bring you a peace of some sort. Maybe you've been kind of worried or anxious lately. Maybe you even came to this reading thinking, man, oh, I hope I get a message that relieves a worry of mine. So let's actually look at that geomancy sigil right now. So drum roll, please, pile 3. The geomancy sigil you got today that I drew before the recording was albus. So that means, I believe, white in Latin, and the keywords are peace, illumination, and passivity. So that's that kind of neutral thing I was talking about, where sometimes it can mean something being too passive, but it does have some positive connotations with the peace and illumination meaning. So we'll put that up there. Whenever I think of albus, I always think of Dumbledore from Harry Potter. It's probably what the Latin word that he's named after, right? So then let's look at your tarot cards. From the Oriens Animal Tarot, first up to bat, we have the Queen of Swords. Interesting. Not the Queen of Cups we started with, but the Queen of Swords, which is air, and air in tarot is always about communication, the mind, maybe some of that nervous energy I was talking about, though upright, that tends to mean a good thing. So let's keep going. We have the Four of Wands reversed. Okay. Trying to figure out something regarding a celebration, the home, security, stability. Then we have the Two of Wands reversed. Okay, yeah, heart of the matter. Makes sense. Makes total sense. Okay, then we've got death with very cute, I love axolotls. Named after a god of, I believe axolotl actually was a god of death, if I'm not mistaken, and twins. And the underworld, I think. I don't know. Anyone in the comments, feel free to correct me if you know mythology a bit better than I do, but we do have death here. Let's actually rearrange this because we do have extra cards. So, Queen of Swords, Four of Wands reversed, Two of Wands reversed, lots of fire energy so far. We've got death with the axolotl. Then we have more fire with the Seven of Wands reversed. And last but not least, drumroll, we have the Two of Cups reversed. A little bit of water energy. Okay. Interesting spread we've got here, pile number 3. Actually, we're going to kind of make a little rainbow archway with this particular spread now that we have 6 instead of 5. Curious. Okay. Then we have from, let's do Lenormand, the chickens or the birds. Maybe some of that nervous energy I was talking about. We have the moon. Yeah. Subconscious feelings. And then we've got the shedding snake. Okay. That does bode well, though. That is a positive snake to get. So renewal and peace and something being shed. Okay, yes. And then your oracles are She Who Brings Light, Blanche, with light, serenity, and beacon. Noticing something being brought to your notice, a light of some sort, and light in cartomancy means truth usually, so it's like you're looking for information to balm this worry of yours, pile 3, and then your surrender card today is surrender to your intuition. Okay, that's a bit of a spoiler for where spirit guides are going with this information that maybe you're looking for, but I'll read. It says, tune into your inner voice, be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. And that light, pile number 3 with Blanche, especially in combination with the meaning of illumination with your Albus sigil, your intuition card, and the moon in Lenormand. Major parts of the answer that you're looking for, of the thing that you're worried about, are things that you can answer deep down inside with your intuition. And I know you're probably like, well, dang it, I came to this reading wanting information. I do have lots of information for you, pile number 3, but I think Spirit is very heavily nudging you in the direction of what does your intuition tell you about the situation that you're worried about. Now, I do see here reflections of that worry and that nervousness of whatever it is that's been kind of bothering you, especially in the chickens or the birds in Lenormand, that can represent like communication of some sort, because, you know, birds, right? We think of them as like air creatures. They chirp, or I guess in chickens' case, they cluck, right? But it can also mean a nervous energy, nervous chatter. I almost wonder if maybe you've been hearing other people nervously speaking about something, and that also caused like a ripple effect of nervousness within you, or it could also be like nervous chatter in terms of like your internal mind, like, you know, speaking away and being like, well, what if this happens, or what if this happens, or what about that, or what about this path, you know, that kind of mental chatter that goes on that makes us a lot more anxious than we have to be about something. And I do see that too with, I mean, look how many birds you got as well with the Queen of Swords, the Four of Wands, and the Two of Wands. We have, I'm not sure what bird this is. Anyone in the comments that knows, let me know. It's kind of blue on top and gold on the bottom. But I do see a crow with the Four of Wands, and I see blue jays with the Two of Wands, okay? Blue jays especially, and crows. Both are birds that are very chatty, okay? I could say that as someone that lives nearby them. Love them. They're beautiful. Wonderful creatures, especially crows, but tend to be very chatty. So that once again makes me think, oh, you've been nervous about something and you want light. I'm trying to see what it is you're nervous about, pile 3. Of course, so many of you could be different things. It's something to do with, there was a way that you wanted to tackle something. You had what seemed like a really good concrete plan for it, or like you thought, okay, I know how to do this. I know how to go forward with this. I'm confident in my idea, especially because the inciting incident here is the Queen of Swords, and she is a queen of like internally being confident in your ideas or your intelligence or in your logical thinking regarding something, especially in combination with the Four of Wands reversed and the Two of Wands reversed right after it. Is this Four of Wands reversed is the energy of we don't feel like we have stability at home or stability in something that makes us feel safe, typically when it is stable, or we feel like there's something we was like under celebrated, because sometimes celebration is another keyword with the Four of Wands. And then on top of that, we have the Two of Wands reversed is we had plans, but they kind of went awry, or like we had plans, but they didn't really work out the way we wanted them to, especially like for those of you that you were still kind of in the planning stages. It's like it kind of cut off at the knees. It's like planning for something, and then, ooh, all of a sudden we had to change with the death card, because that's what death means most of the time in tarot. It doesn't always mean death. It means like a change of some sort, a rebirth of some sort. So speaking of the shedding snake, rebirth, you had to change things. And I think that might have been the mechanism in which what caused you this anxiety and this mental chatter, and like maybe other people were involved too, hence all the birds, like, you know, other people talking about it. It could be even literally, even if it's not people you know in your personal life, it could be people you listen to online have made you really nervous about something, or like the world in general has made you really nervous about something, okay? And interestingly, pile 3, you've got the 7 of Wands reversed and the 2 of Cups reversed as your outcome. On the path you're currently on, and this is the beauty of tarot, is when I tell you this, it's a snapshot of the timeline ahead of you based on what you're doing now. The beauty, as I said, is you can change this. So when I tell you that this is the outcome, don't freak out and be like, uh-oh, this is like inevitable, I can't change this, because we do have free will, pile number 3. But based on what you're worrying about right now, or like everything that's been going on, I think, and it's not like, okay, it's not like spirit guides are saying, how dare you be worried about this. It's not a chastising reading of like, you know, you should always be confident, you should never doubt, and you should always just, you know, no, that's not realistic, okay? Feel your feelings. And as someone that, you know, I've had anxiety disorder before, like, I'm not saying that you necessarily have, like, all the way, I mean, you might have anxiety disorder too, pile number 3, but I'm saying as someone that has had anxiety disorder, I get the way mental chatter can get out of hand and we can't control it. So it's not like, as I said, spirit guides saying, you know, how dare you? You shouldn't have done that. You should just always be confident and blah, blah, blah. No. Throw that out the window. But if you were to focus as much as you can on reducing your anxiety about these things that seemingly have gone awry, you can avoid the thing that I'm about to talk about. Now, you have the 7 of Wands reversed and the 2 of Cups reversed as an outcome. What that means is on the path you're on, if you don't change, there's some element here of like letting down defenses or feeling like you're being attacked from all sides in some way with the 7 of Wands reversed in a relationship that you're in that maybe is currently feeling kind of negative, and or like you fear that it might go that way, okay? Because the 2 of Cups reversed means disharmony in a relationship. So it could be with, you know, a partner, with a friend, could be with a family member, it could be with even your relationship to a place or like a thing. It doesn't necessarily have to mean like, you know, when we say relationship in society, most of the time people are like, oh, you mean a romantic relationship. But in tarot, it can mean many different things. So, but as I said, pile number 3, the beauty is you can avoid this. And you can avoid this through the mechanism and the alchemy of change. If you focus on your serenity, and this is probably where serenity comes in with your Blanche card and also the Peace card in Albus. If you focus on your serenity and you try not to catastrophize so much in your mind, that in and of itself, of whatever you're worried about, will become the self-fulfilling prophecy that will help you avoid that feeling of like being attacked or feeling like you're defenseless or feeling like, you know, something goes wrong in a relationship. It's almost a feeling of the more that you worry about the thing happening, the more of a self-fulfilling prophecy that it might happen. Okay. But the beauty is on the vice versa, the less you worry about it, pile number 3, the less likely the thing that you're worried about will come to pass. Okay. So that's kind of what I mean. Hopefully that wasn't like, hopefully I described that in a way that was clear, but so that's why spirit guides want to tell you this today, pile number 3, because they want you to know this ahead of time so you can get to the outcome that you want to get to. It's like an advice reading if I really had to summarize your message today. And the key to doing that is not just, well, try not to worry about something so much, but your intuition. That's the other part that came through, was the surrender to your intuition and your inner light with Blanche too. And also, what's interesting is your Lenormand spread. So Lenormand is often read like each card is kind of a word in a sentence or a phrase. And if I had to read yours like a sentence, pile 3, it would be communication from your intuition or your deeper emotions or subconscious. That's what the moon means. about letting something go or shedding something and leaving it behind. Okay. Maybe that's part of what you're worried about, is a plan that you thought, well, you wanted to leave something behind, but you feel like you're not going to be able to. But that's all you need to do, pile number 3, is if you focus on your intuition and you believe in your intuition and believe in your own ability and believe in yourself in general. Okay, that's another kind of theme coming here. That self-fulfilling prophecy will come in terms of it turning out okay. So please lean into your confidence more. Please lean into trusting in your intuition, and that will help bring everything to a positive outcome. Okay. I do want to pull some more cards for you, because I know for some of you, especially if like you came to this reading and you're like, oh my God, I'm nervous about something. And then especially like afterwards, you're like, oh God, well, the key is just not to worry about it. I mean, that's not always 100% easy. So I'm going to ask Spirit if they can give us some cards of advice on how to reduce your anxiety or your nervousness about this. Okay. So Spirit guides, do you have advice for pile number 3 on the thing that they're worried about? Like in terms of how would you either reassure them or give them advice on reducing their worry? Like what would you like to tell them about that? Because that will also help them come to a better outcome. Okay, we have the 8 of Pentacles reversed. You're working too hard. You're working too hard, pile number 3. And or just focus on the work of something. Just do your best. It's another meaning of the 8 of Pentacles reversed, okay? And then we have, well, these two both want to come out, so I'm going to take them. Actually, I'm going to take this one too. It was also sticking out of the deck over here. So this one we have is the King of Wands. Yes, be confident. I'm sorry, it's repetitive, but Spirit guides are repeating it. The King of Wands, pile 3, is please don't just be confident, exude confidence, because the King of Wands is the masculine energy of fire and its mastery. And what that means is, I mean, does a lion ever seem like it's unconfident? Does it ever seem nervous or worried about things? Even if you don't feel it deep down inside, pile number 3, with whatever this is, sometimes if you fake it till you make it, it becomes truth. Sometimes faking it till you make it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy in and of itself, okay? Then third, we have the Ace of Swords reversed. Okay, something to do about ideas or a new way of thinking. And then we have the Ace of Cups, 2 aces. So lots of beginning energy, new energy too, with the aces popping out here. So in terms of your advice or reassurance and like how to worry less about this situation. Yeah, as I said with the 8 of Pentacles reversed when it first popped out, you're either working too hard, I think maybe fueled by anxiety, which once again, pile 3, I totally understand. I've been a completely anxious person myself. Like I said, I used to have anxiety disorder, if not, still struggle with it sometimes. Sometimes I do that myself, where if I'm worried about something, I think if I just pour a gazillion gallons of work gasoline into the tank of the fate of the universe, that, it'll just be the best outcome ever. Sometimes the best outcome comes from trying less. Okay, so, I say that fully knowing that sometimes when you're anxious, it feels like, we got to do more. Sometimes the best thing to do is to do less, okay? Don't work so hard. Lean more into exuding confidence with the King of Wands, all right? Now, what's interesting, though, is we have the Ace of Swords reversed and the Ace of Cups as the last 2 cards. Ace of Swords reversed can mean we're kind of confused about something or we're looking for an idea, but it hasn't come, like, our light bulb moment yet. And then the Ace of Cups is like a new emotion or a new relationship of some sort. Can also mean blessings as well. So, I don't know how cute it's an otter. I think it's an otter. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Interesting. Ace of Swords. I'm going to draw one more clarifier on the 2 aces. What do you mean by the 2 aces, Spirit? Okay, this one already is like, pick me, so we're going to pick it. The 5 of Swords, conflict. Okay, so... that's what it is. The other problem, pile 2, or I'm sorry, not pile 2, pile 3, forgive me. I don't know why I said 2. The other problem, pile 3, is that your heart and your mind are warring too much. The 5 of Swords is a card of verbal conflict. It's harsh conflict. And when I said, clarify the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups to me, it's a conflict between the mind with the air energy of swords and a conflict between the heart with the water energy of the cups. Your advice in this situation is when you follow your intuition, what that really means is, pile number 3, is don't follow what your mind says with the Ace of Swords, because right now we have too much of an active mind, I think. We're a little bit of air energy out of balance, speaking as a Sun Gemini. Totally get it. And someone that has anxiety, as I said. Too much air energy. Tamper down the air energy, and then lean more into the heart and emotion energy of water. Choose what your heart and your intuition is saying over your mind. Because the mind is being a little bit too squawky right now. Too many birds. Or other people in your life, too, might also be too squawky. Uh-oh, did you hear about this bad thing or this scary thing? Or what about this thing? Blah, 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 blah. And sometimes when other people's anxieties are exuded, they can give us the same anxieties. Okay, so also maybe reduce chatter, too. Not just internal chatter, but chatter from other people. Or at least, what do you feel deep down in your heart, pile 3, about this situation? Okay, what does your heart say, not your mind? And I think that will also help you. All right. Okay, anything else? I think we covered everything. So, just to summarize, pile 3, if your spirit guides had to say one word, it would be relax. As I said, it's not them minimizing what you're going through or what you're worried about. What you're worried about is very important. It's not like you're worrying over nothing. I'm not getting that sense. It's just that, if they had that one piece of advice, it would be just the one word. Relax. It'll be okay. Okay? And by relaxing, you'll come to a better outcome than you would or will if you sit there and you worry about it for however long it takes until the thing that you're afraid or worried about is, okay, or occurs, or, adhere it to whatever situation you're going through with this, okay? And I just realized this too, pile number 3, duh. That's probably what the passivity means in your Albus. I just looked at that word and I was like, well, wait a minute. It's the card of passivity, or geomancy sigil, I should say, because your best path forward is passivity. Let go. Don't burn yourself out. Don't work so hard. Don't worry so much. And that, my friend, is the key to the door that you want open towards what it is that you're worried about. Or getting away from the outcome or the thing that you're worried about, I guess, is a better way to put that. Okay. Just realize that synchronicity. Oh, that's what the passivity meant, yeah. Because that's what Albus does in geomancy. It's a figure of, it's kind of like the wise old hermit. Now, sometimes passivity can be bad. Oh, you're not doing enough. But in this situation, pile number 3, it's like, you're doing too much. You need to calm down. Just meditate a little bit. Do something that relaxes you. If you find yourself worrying, remember this reading and be like, okay, that reading from my spirit guides told me, as long as I, just tone down the worry, it'll be okay. Okay. Things like that. So 100% understand pile number 3, as I said. Total anxious person myself, so 100% sympathize and empathize with what you're going through, but it'll be okay. So that's your reading for today, my wonderful pile number 3. If the reading helped you, number 1 is what I care about most, but also you liked it, it resonated, etc. I'll do my usual YouTube spiel of, please like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. You've been on YouTube before. And if you used to do so, thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Every little bit helps the channel grow even more and more. And you have my gratitude if you do so. And as we say in our tradition, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, pile 3, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye.